I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. We're going to go through and chat about the Pick.Click.Give program, some introductory information, and some more tactics that you guys are going to be able to use via email and Facebook and social media, and just some other options as well. This program was created by the Alaska State Legislature about 7 years ago and went into effect in 2009. So we are now in our 7th year of the program here in the state of Alaska. And really what the goal of Pick.Click.Give is to increase individual charitable giving along with the number of donors to nonprofit organizations around the state. And each year, the number of donors has grown as well as the number of nonprofits around the state. And so we really have seen a great increase year to year and are very, very prideful of that fact. Some partners in the Pick.Click.Give program, obviously, some great partners from around the state have been here of the program: Rasmussen Foundation, the Foraker Group, United Way of Anchorage, the State of Alaska Department of Revenue, the PFD division, and the Alaska Community Foundation. The Alaska Community Foundation is actually the home now of the Pick.Click.Give program. It's been in transition for the past several years, moving away from some of the original partners to now have dedicated staff people who are involved in the Alaska Community Foundation. That's me. So the Alaska Community Foundation, just as a quick introduction to them if you don't know about us, we're celebrating our 20th year. We were established in 1995, and really it was created for it to be a statewide platform for charitable giving. And it connects people with causes that matter all over the state, and we only are involved with the state nonprofits. And since 1995, we've grown into an organization that has over 80 million in 300 funds. And each year, we grant $3 to $4 million of charitable projects. And really, our mission is to transform gifts from Alaskans into even more extraordinary contributions to our state's future. Well, let's get into the Pick.Click.Give program. If this is your first year, you might not know kind of the process of everything. But even if you've been involved with it for several years, sometimes the process and the calendaring can be a little confusing. So what happens coming up here soon in the next few months, January 1st, 2016 through March 31st, Alaskans will start filing for their permanent fund dividends. And Alaskans can choose to donate from their PFD in increments of $25 to one or more of the 500 plus organizations. That's you. And so what happens is the state of Alaska then publishes in early April how much was pledged to each organization, the amount that amount is likely to change before payout. We sent out information this past April to organizations, and over the summer months and even now, we're getting calls and emails from people wondering if that amount has changed or anything. And I think a good expectation is just to realize that'll probably it won't probably go down, but in some cases, different garnishes and other payouts get subtracted from people's PFDs, and they're not able to make the contributions that they can. And also, what happens is that Alaskans can log into their application process through the end of summer, through August 31st, and they can add, change, or withdraw donations at that time as well. And then checks and donor lists are mailed out to each of you by the end of October. In fact, the United Way is currently getting checks and letters out this week. So just a quick update on how successful this has been, how Pick.Click.Give has helped out nonprofits over the course of the last 7 years. You can see on this slide from 2009 till this current year, the rate of growth and the donations each year that have been distributed to nonprofits. Obviously, from that first to second year, a big jump in the rate of growth as people became more aware of this, and the program was able to promote itself more. And obviously, some steady increases in the donation amount, but the rate of growth has slowed, and that's to be expected. Moving forward, we still know that we have a lot of ways to improve and to work with nonprofits that they can work with their clients and their donors to make that even greater. One of the points as well is that as the the eligibility for nonprofits eases, we're hoping that the number of nonprofits grows, which also will mean that the number of donors can grow as well. Well, last year there were some legislative changes to the program, and just as a quick reminder, I wanted to go through some of these. Like I said, the Pick.Click.Give program was started in 2009 as a pilot program, and 3 years later it became a permanent process of the permanent fund dividend. But this past summer, HB 75 was authored by, 2014, House Bill 75 was authored by Rev. Seaton and had unanimous favor in both the House and Senate, lots of great support, and was signed into law last summer. And so it had a couple of changes. One, it made the application used to require for organizations with a budget of $250,000 to provide a financial audit. And now it's only organizations who have a budget over $500,000 will be asked to provide an audit. Also, the 7% coordination fee came into effect this past year, and we're trying our best to communicate with organizations what this will mean to them. And when you get your check, if you were eligible this past year, we'll have an FAQ on some of the more common questions. But really, what this is a 7% fee taken out of the donations that will help pay for statewide advertising, other training and resources like this one and others. It helps pay for the Pick.Click.Give.org website, dedicated program staff, and other improvements. One of the initial points of the Pick.Click.Give program was that this would cost the PFD division or state government no dollars. And so as we move forward into sustainability and making this program even more successful, we are actually pretty excited that the 7% coordination fee was agreed upon by nonprofits that were surveyed and talks that we had. And we're going to use that 7% in a really great way that's going to help nonprofits across the state. One last point, too, was that the University of Alaska campuses were required to apply for inclusion in the Pick.Click.Give program instead of just being automatically listed. So I talked a little bit about the 7% coordination fee, and here are some details of how it was started, and here, moving forward, what it's going to mean. Really how we see it is a fee that helps promote and increase awareness of the Pick.Click.Give program that hopefully benefits all nonprofits across the state. It also means that we can depend less on other partners for administrative fees, and they can help out in other ways. It also means we'll be continuing to reach out to corporations and other supporters and partners that they can help out in other ways. But for us, it means mostly that we'll be working with nonprofits in promoting, training, and helping you out the best we can, and really getting some dedicated funds to make that the most beneficial as possible. One of the other confusing points that I'll highlight is people are asking questions regarding who sends out a tax receipt. The coordination fee, since it deducts a 7% fee, who will send out the amount? And the PFD is actually sending the official tax receipt, but as nonprofits, best practice, you should be sending out thank yous to your donors of the full amount that they give. So another one of the new things going on this year, the new promotion that we're working on for 2015 and 16 is a thank you generator. This past month, earlier this month, when checks were distributed to individuals, Kathy was able to work with some of the nonprofits and sent out an email and promoted this thank you generator that we have. And it's really quite a neat tool that makes it really easy for nonprofits to thank individuals, mostly on social media, but also through emails and other tools. And so if you go to PCGthankyou.org, what it really is it's a tool that you can customize your very own thank you. And I'll show you the slide here in a second. And it's really quite simple. You type in who you want to thank or how you want to thank them right here in the insert name box, and it automatically updates here in this image. So it'll say thank you to pet lovers. You made a difference. And you'll hit the create and share button, and it gives you several options to download the image. You can see now we typed in "thank you to those who give," and so here's our image. You can either click on the image to download that, you can share it on your Facebook page, you can tweet it, and it also has a link that you can use as well. And here's some examples that people were using. Here's Bike Anchorage. They put this on their Facebook page. Here's Food Bank of Alaska and the Alaska Zoo. I'll share that on their Facebook page. And what you can also use to use that image, like I said, on Twitter or Instagram. And now, if you received checks, you'll be receiving donor recipient names. You can send them an email with an image, thanking them personally with a first name or in generic ways of what your organization's mission is doing. So what are some things that we have coming up here in November and December? This is the time that people really can get ready for that January 1 application time. This is where you can lay the groundwork for getting that top of mind awareness so people, when they apply, will think of your organization. And so, there's lots of different things you can do. Going to, everything from making sure that your social media content is ready for the next few months. That encourages people to use Pick.Click.Give. We've seen people team up with like-minded nonprofits to help collaborate on ads and things like that. And Kathy's going to share some great examples of what some of the communities are doing with that and how impactful it can be. We've seen people going to their local businesses or service groups to match Pick.Click.Give gifts. We know matching is a great way to motivate others to give and to donate to your organization. Like I mentioned, we have the thank you generator, and then we have just a great lineup of additional trainings coming up in the next several weeks that will really help you make your Pick.Click.Give program stand out and be very successful. So in December, as we get towards the end of the year, you can start downloading the Pick.Click.Give logo and using those in your e-signatures for your staff and board or volunteers that want to help promote it. We also encourage people to start sharing their stories or photos of how Pick.Click.Give helped them this past year if they were able to, or how Pick.Click.Give will help them in the future if this is your first year, what you are wanting to do with some of the funds. Start inspiring people and sharing those stories of what people will be looking for in the future. And if you do have a marketing budget or can collaborate with others to start running ads in late December and early January, encouraging people to donate to your organization through Pick.Click.Give. So I have a question that says, are 501c6 organizations eligible? And then here's another question that says, our group isn't a member of Pick.Click.Give yet. What are the requirements for us to be one, and when can we sign up? So if you go to the Pick.Click.Give.org website, there's a button that says Info for Nonprofits, and it's got a whole great list of FAQs that help explain some of those questions. And so I'd really encourage people to go to Pick.Click.Give.org. Just as a quick note, if you're not eligible this year for 2016, the open window for application for 2017 will start February 1st. And so that's the next application window for 2017 is February 1st. So speaking of Pick.Click.Give, if you haven't been there, this is the main page. It's really a great resource for both donors and for nonprofit organizations. For donors, it gives them a website that they can kind of cruise around and see all the different organizations, including yours, and they can learn more about organizations. So if you encourage people, potential donors, to go to Pick.Click.Give.org, they can see all of the different nonprofit categories that they have, but also can learn more about yours as well. Encourage you to new information that you want to share, that you want donors to see, if it's a new program within your organization or some exciting news, you can put that in your profile. And where you go for that is over here on the right-hand side, there's Info for Nonprofits, and then there's a button that says Update My Profile, or Update Profile. And you'll go in there and get your login, or use your login, and you'll have all of your information that you can change at any time. And so it's a great page for donors to see, but it's also, like we mentioned, a great place for organizations to highlight themselves. We chose an organization. This is the Anchorage Concert Association's profile page that donors will see, and you can see it's got an About Us, how Pick.Click.Give makes a difference to them. They have all of their information here. This is the contact information here to the right. It's got a Facebook and a Twitter button that you can share this organization to your Facebook page, your Twitter account, and then also the pledges that have come in, and you can see how the Concert Association has grown each year, how they've increased their past pledges. So there's a question that's asked, is it best practice to keep your profiles short and sweet? I think that you want to highlight the best of your organization and why Pick.Give is useful to you. I probably wouldn't go much longer than what you can see the Concert Association has here. This is probably a lot of information, but I probably wouldn't go past that. I think keeping it at 200 or 300 words is probably pretty safe. If you can, make it short and sweet, but make sure it does tell your story and shows the impact that you have in your community and that donors can have in your organization. I think that's what you want to balance, is highlighting yourself the best you can, but not making it feel like they have to scroll down and read pages and pages to get the gist of what your mission is. So another great place on the website to go is to the Toolkit. If you go to Information for Nonprofits, you'll see a link on the left-hand side that says Toolkit, and this is where you can go to download all of the different logos, different graphics that Pick.Click.Give offers for you to use on your website, on your letterhead, on your social media pages, like we said, on your email signature block, on newspaper advertising or direct mail pieces. So we try to give you all the tools on here so that you feel that you can use those at any time. Those are yours to use on any way that you think will help benefit. And if there's something that you feel like, man, I'd really love a logo that has, my name underneath it, but I don't know how to do that. Feel free to give me a call or an email, and we can definitely help create things for you within reason, and would love to see all the different ways that people use that as well. So here's some examples of what you'll find in the toolkit. You'll see the Pick.Click.Give box logo over here. You'll see it in the horizontal. We also have the Love Alaska Pick.Click.Give logo. Love Alaska is kind of the what we're using is kind of a hashtag and secondary tagline. Really kind of captures what Pick.Click.Give does, and so we're using that in a lot of our different marketing as well. And here's another example of what you can use. Here's Pick.Click.Give. We make good things happen all over Alaska. So there's all sorts of different logos and things you can grab from there. So here's what someone did with. This is a screen grab from us from Pick.Click.Give, but it was a Facebook banner. Here's what the SPCA did with theirs, kind of riffing on that. They used all of their photos and created a Pick.Click.Give Facebook banner in a fun way. Here's another one. This was really a great one. This is something out, and they made it community specific as opposed to just one individual organization. Here's what the Watershed Forum down in Kenai did. They had taking photos and sharing that on their Facebook page of using the Love Alaska banner. Really just in different ways getting that logo out there so that people recognize it when you use it or they see it with other people, that if you're a recipient of Pick.Click.Give, that they can donate to you. Here's Make-A-Wish. Obviously they have some great photos, and so they incorporated the Pick.Click Make-A-Wish button on their own. But so kind of a different take on it, but obviously it gets the point across of what people are doing for that. Here's Food Bank of Alaska. They used their own thank you photo, but tied it back in of the generosity and what people are doing. And I think on Facebook, people really want to see, how themselves as individuals are impacting your organization and how what they gave to really made a difference. And so if you can highlight, different volunteers or different clients or people who are benefiting from it, I think that's what's really we can go a long way. Here was Beans Cafe. They used the Love Alaska Pick.Click.Give banner at the top of an email explaining how people can donate through Pick.Click.Give to Beans Cafe, kind of a step-by-step process, and I use the logo there at top. Here's another fun kind of Photoshop way of how people are using the logo. And this is a great example of people, T-shirts, the logos, and some of the other tools, and really standing out, showing who is being impacted through these donations. Just a few more examples of what people are doing to kind of share the logo. And so I mentioned earlier that one of the great ways that people have really made new and unique impacts in their communities and with their organization is actually coming together with other nonprofits to, add all of their resources together. You may feel that as a nonprofit you don't have the resources to make much of an impact through Pick.Click.Give, but if you work with other nonprofits or like-minded businesses in your community, there really is a great opportunity for some of that. And Kathy actually has some great examples, and I'm going to let her talk regarding what has happened out in Bethel in the past several years.
Hi, everyone. So we just wanted you to start thinking, I think, right now about ways that you might be able to leverage your Pick.Click.Give donations for the coming year. And the community of Bethel this last year came together. I think there were 6 Pick.Click.Give organizations that collaborated together and did several different things. They offered their own sort of double your dividend. I think it was actually a $1,000 prize for people who donated to any of the 6 local organizations. So they did their own little contest. They also found somebody who would put together some videos of each agency, which gave some examples of what they were doing with their Pick.Click.Give dollars. So they really just did sort of their own Pick.Click.Give campaign within their own community to try to drive donations. And a shout out to Michelle DeWitt with the Women's Shelter out in Bethel, who sort of spearheaded that. So if you have other organizations within your community that you think you could work with, or I know that also the Anchorage Youth Development Coalition a couple of years ago got all of the youth serving organizations that were involved with Pick.Click.Give together, and they did some campaigns jointly. So everybody contributed a little bit of money, and they were able to do a lot just to promote people Pick.Click.In giving to youth organizations. So it was more of a generic kind of approach rather than these are the agencies, but we want you to support youth through Pick.Click.Give. So be thinking about ways that you might be able to collaborate. If there's a champion in your community that you think could lead something like that, Jason is going to be here to support that, and we can get some conference calls together and brainstorm some ideas. You can bounce some ideas off of us. We're here sort of to help you figure out how that might work in your community, but we're really hoping that especially some of the organizations that only have a 1 or 2 person staff, they might not have the manpower to do something on their own, but if there's ways that we could all collaborate together, we think that everybody will be much more successful. So just wanted to kind of put that bug in your ear.
Thanks, Kathy. One last page, I just wanted to kind of recap some resources for everyone. Obviously, Pick.Click.Give.org has lots of great information for the donor, if you want to direct people to that donor page so they can learn more about the program, but also for you, the nonprofit, where you can update your profile, you can get all of the tools, or most of the tools that you need regarding graphics and other ideas that you have, updating your profile, and being able to share with others why you need to be involved with Pick.Click.Give. So that's a great resource. There's training sessions on our YouTube page, which is there, youtube.com with Pick.Click.Give, and you can also check out the other PCG presentations on that address. And I didn't get to introduce myself too much, but my email address down there is jgrenn@alaskacf.org, and I'd love to be able to help with any questions that you have regarding the program in general, regarding the 7% coordination fee, how we can help promote your organization and your community, or like Kathy said, brainstorm. We can set up conference calls, anything that we can do to be a resource to make sure that being part of Pick.Click.Give is a huge asset for your organization that helps you achieve your mission wherever you are in Alaska. And so please feel free to email me or call me whenever you can. If you have general questions, or you want people to or you want to pass on an email and you can't remember my name, the easy one to do is info@pick.Click.Give.org. That's another one that comes to me, and we're able to answer very quickly. Oh, we do have a question. It says, did you say how organizations get featured on the Pick.Click.Give main page? No, that's something that you know, we definitely would be open to changing if maybe here in the next couple weeks we can start changing those out more frequently. There is something we want to do on our Pick.Click.Give Facebook page is several times a week here in the next couple weeks, going through, you know, November, December, January, February, is highlighting those organizations that are doing cool things. And so if you do have a story or have photos or have something really worth sharing on Facebook, feel free to email me just kind of a quick update, and we'd love to share that on our page as well. I think our Facebook page is a great resource for both donors to see what all the organizations are doing around the state, and also for you, the organization, to be highlighted. So feel free to please send those, and we'd love to see. If you want to share or retweet ours, you know, please do so. But we definitely will do that too. And so we'll try to find all the organizations that are being impacted this year and see how we can link up on social media to be able to keep track of all the cool stuff and to share those out, because we want to be a great bullhorn as well for everyone and to help promote you as individual organizations as well. Well, thank you so much, everyone.